be Ibadan. Live am like that, make it be like that. Make you not there, Yaramo. Live am like that, make it be like that.
You are listening to JDN 101.5 FM. Broadcasting for all.
Good morning, and it's a new month, a new day, and a fresh set of headlines. As June begins, the front pages of the nation dailies are already highlighting the stories set to shape conversation across Nigeria. Good morning and welcome to Newspaper Review on JDN Radio 101.5 FM, broadcasting for all. Happy new month to you and your loved ones. May June bring progress, good health, and new opportunities. I am Abiodun Samson, taking you through the headlines, making the front pages and dailies this Wednesday, the 3rd of June, 2026. On the stand with me this morning, I have the Nigerian Tribune, The Punch, The Nation, Daily Post. Stay with me as we scan the front pages, examine the major stories, and bring you the headlines driving discussions across the country this morning. I will be starting with the headlines that made it to the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning. That says, school children abduction, Oyo protests go nationwide. NAS moves on state police. Discon earned 600 billion naira in 3 months despite blackouts. Ebola alert, federal government tightens airport and border screening. Private sector forwards 100,000 minimum wage proposal. INEC, DSS probe voters data leak as Atiku raises fear. Northwest IDPs near 800,000 amid killing. Democracy Day, Tinubu to address National Assembly June 12. Insecurity, Khan declares national mourning, demands emergency. 2 so-safe officers in police net over Ogun's man's death. And those are the headlines from the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning. forward to the nation with this headline that says, Senate, House, protesters, let's get kidnapped victims out. Abductors to General Rabe Abubakar demands release of their men in custody. Investment group, global company partner on food production and job creation. Still on the nation, Tinubu's reform laid groundwork for long-term economic recovery. Ambassador Jimoh Ibrahim elected UN Budget and Admin Chairman. And those are the stories that made it to the front page of the nation for this morning. And on Daily Post for this morning, I have this headline that says, civilian casualty allegation undermine air operation legitimacy, says the cast warns. Nigerians can't win war against insecurity without neighboring countries. And this is said by Olawepo Ashim. And also, bandits reject ransom, demands prisoner exchange for abducted retired general wife in Katsina. And this also from Daily Post, Nigeria never had democracy, says Farotimi. And on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune for this morning, I have this headline that says, teachers protest spread over schools' abductions. And that's on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. And it has this rider that says, holds in Kogi, Lagos, Kwara, Rivers, Benue, Edo, Oyo, Ondo, Oshun, Cross River, and Federal Capital Territory. NANS, NLC joins in solidarity. Senate reps condemn attack once against politicizing insecurity. And another rider that says, our priority is safe return of our students, not politics. And this is said by Makinde. Khan declares 3-day national mourning, June 14 Black Sunday, demands state of emergency on security. And still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune, 13 reps dumped APC, PDP after party primaries. With this rider, 6 Oyo lawmakers, one from Bauchi, joins APM. Kingsley Chinda resigns as minority leader. And still on the Nigerian Tribune, EFCC Lamido clash over witness in 1.35 billion naira fraud trial. And also on health, new antibiotics-free strategy prevents newborn meningitis. If you're just tuning in, it's to the newspaper review on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Today, the 3rd of June 2026. And I will be starting with a story from the Punch newspaper that says school children abduction or your protests go nationwide. NAS move on state police. The abductions of dozens of pupils and teachers from schools in Orire local government area of Oyo State have sparked widespread outrage across the country, prompting condemnation from the Senate, coordinated nationwide protests by teachers, and renewed calls by lawmakers for comprehensive reforms to Nigerian security architecture. The protest took place in the Federal Capital Territory, Edo, Rivers, Cross River, Benue, Adamawa, Taraba, Anambra, Akwa Ibom, Abia, Osun, Lagos, Niger, and several other states. The nationwide reaction comes as the Senate resumed preliminary on Tuesday after the Salah recess and observed a 1-minute silence in honor of 2 teachers and a pupil killed in connection with the attack. Senate President Godswill Akpabio and the Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas. The incident, which occurred on May 15, saw armed men storm 3 schools in Ahoro, Isinle, and Yawota communities of Orire local government area, abducting pupils and teachers and plunging families into weeks of anguish. The attack has become one of the most significant school abductions in recent years, reviving painful memories of the Chibok and Dapchi kidnapping and raising fresh concern about safety of schools across the countries. And this story continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning. And still on the Punch for this morning with this headline that says, Discon earns 600 billion naira in 3 months despite blackout. Electricity distribution companies in Nigeria collected about 600 billion naira from consumers in the first quarter of 2026, according to the latest industrial data released by the National Electricity Regulatory Commission. The figures, which covers January to March 2026, shows the Discon generated revenue close to the 600 billion mark despite persistent challenges in the power sector. According to the NEC commercial performance face sheet, the Discon recorded 204.74 billion naira in January and 196.68 billion naira in February and 196.13 billion naira in March 2026. Bringing the first quarter total to 597.55 billion naira, averaging approximately 199.18 billion naira per month. The NEC report highlights varying levels of commercial efficiency across the 11 discoms, while some companies shows improvements in billing and collections efficiency in certain months. Overall performance remained mixed, with notable revenue shortfalls recorded monthly. And for more of this story, you can see the stories on the Punch newspaper for this morning, the 3rd of June 2026. Ebola alerts, federal government tightens airport and border screening. The federal government has intensified health screening at the country's airports, seaports, and land borders. It also announced that travelers identified as high risk or displaying symptoms associated with Ebola and other viral hemorrhagic fevers will be subjected to secondary screening, isolation, and referral procedure. The moves comes amid the growing concerns over the ongoing outbreak of the Ebola virus disease in the part of the East and Central Africa and form part of the broader national preparedness strategy aimed at preventing the disease from entering Nigeria. In a statement issued on Tuesday, which was signed by the Assistant Director of Press and Public Relations, Ado Bako, the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare said there were currently no confirmed Ebola cases in Nigeria, but stressed that heightened preparedness measure has been activated nationwide to safeguard public health. The ministry wishes to reassure Nigerians that there is presently no confirmed cases of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. That, however, in line with the federal government commitment to strengthening national health security and preventing cross-border disease transmission, heightened preparedness measures have been activated nationwide, the ministry stated. And the story continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning. If you're just tuning in, it's still the newspaper review on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And I'm still on the Punch newspaper with this headline that says private sector faults 100,000 minimum wage proposal. Members of the organized private sector have cautioned against expecting private sector employers to automatically match the 100,000 minimum wage being adopted by some state governments. They warn that many small and medium-sized enterprises are already struggling under rising production costs and shrinking profit margins. The business group said that while some large firms and thriving sectors of the economy would afford wages above 100,000, most SMEs were battling high operation costs, inflation, energy expenses, and weak consumer demands. President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Leye Kukpoluyi, says the private sector should not be compelled to pay the same wage level as the government if businesses could not afford it. The national minimum wage does not necessarily mean private sector operators must pay their workers the same level if they cannot afford such a level at the time of introduction. And this story continues on the Punch newspaper for this morning. And moving forward to the nation for this morning with this headline that says Senate House protesters, let's get kidnapped victims out. From Abuja to Ibadan and across many state capitals, a single demand ranks out yesterday: bring home the kidnapped pupils and teachers before more lives are lost. The National Assembly, Oyo State's Governor Seyi Makinde, and the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) spoke with one voice on the plight of kidnapped school children in Oyo and Borno State. They called for the urgent and safe rescue of the victims who have been held captive by bandits and terrorists since last month. As the appeal echoed from Abuja and Ibadan, the strike declared by the Nigerian Union of Teachers to press for the release of the captives entered into the second day in Oyo State, while protests, which started from Ibadan and Abeokuta on Monday, spread to some other states. 39 school children and 7 teachers were abducted on May 15 by gunmen in Ahoro, Esin, Ile, and Yawota communities in Orire local government area of Oyo State. On the same day, scores of school children were abducted in Borno State. The incident heightened security concerns nationwide, with many Nigerians expressing anger over the delay in securing the victims' freedom. In Ibadan, Makinde met with protesting teachers and assured them that all was being done to secure the release of the pupils and teachers. And the story continues on the Nations for this morning. Abductors of General Rabi Abubakar demand release of their men in custody. There was a twist yesterday to the Saturday abduction of a one-time military spokesman, Major General Rabi Abubakar, and his wife. Abductors of the general demanded the release of their men in security custody as condition for the release of their victim. The general was spokesman of the Defense Headquarters 2015 and 2017 before retiring from the army. The nation learned yesterday from the source close the general's family that the leaders of the terrorist group that abducted him, Kachala Mohamadu, had contacted the family given the conditions of prisoner swap. It was further learned that when Kachala contacted the family, he allowed them to speak with the general, who, according to the source, told them that he was healthy and in good condition. Kachala, it was gathered, told the family members to pass this message to the government, the military authorities. And the story continues on The Nation for this morning. If you're just tuning in, it's still the newspaper review on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And you can also be part of the newspaper review if any of the headlines are spark or reactions. You can just pull a call through to the studio line on 070-48001015 and 080-2210-2163. And you can join us on our Facebook on JDN Radio 101.5 FM and also on YouTube JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And do not forget that we are live on Radio Garden on JDN Radio 101.5 FM and our website on www.jdnradio1015.com. And moving forward to Daily Post with this headline that says, civilian casualties allegation undermine air operation legitimacy. CAS warns. The chief of the air staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, has warned that allegations of civilian casualties during military air operation could undermine mission legitimacy, public confidence, and the reputation of the Nigerian Air Force. Aneke gave the warning on Tuesday in Abuja at the maiden seminar of the Civilian Harm Mitigation and Response for Strategic Level Officers. He says, while the Nigerian Air Force remain committed to professional and responsible air operations, incidents, whether confirmed or alleged, continue to highlight the need for stronger application of civilian protection principles. According to him, such allegations are far-reaching implications for trust in the military, both locally and internationally. It said that these incidents, whether verified or alleged, are far-reaching ramifications on mission legitimacy, public confidence, and relationship with our stakeholders, both domestic and foreign, he said. And this story continues on Daily Post for this morning. And I will be taking this headline from The Punch that says, Democracy Day, Tinubu to address National Assembly June 12. President Bola Tinubu is scheduled to address the joint sections of the National Assembly on June 12 as part of activities marking this year's Democracy Day celebration. The address will form part of a series of official events lined up by the federal government to commemorate the 2026 Democracy Day, according to the Interministerial Committee inaugurated on Tuesday to coordinate the nationwide program. Other activities lined up for the celebration include the World Press Conference on June 4, special Juma prayer on June 5, an interdenominational church service on June 7, a Democracy Day public lecture on June 9, youth and women-oriented programs on June 10, a presidential broadcast on June 12, and a Democracy Day gala night. Inaugurating the committee, the federal government paid tribute to the late Chief M.K.O. Abiola and other heroes of the June 12 struggles. And that is the story from the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning. And on that note, I will be wrapping it up on the newspaper review on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And as we begin this new month of June, I wish you peace, I wish you progress and good health and success in all your endeavors. And do not forget, I should keep believing and keep striving and making a positive difference wherever you are. I am Abiodun Samson, and I'm saying have a wonderful day ahead. And stay tuned to JDN Radio 101.5 FM broadcasting for all. Goodbye, and do not forget that the translation in Yoruba translation of the newspaper review comes up shortly. Bye.
JDN Radio 101.5 FM, broadcasting for all.